Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Hart, Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Joe Zone on sports. This is the Newswatch 16 update.
Good evening. I'm Nolan Johannes. Karen Hart has the night off. The quality of drinking water is on the minds of a lot of people these days, and that's why tempers flared in Luzerne County tonight. People who live in Foster Township got together with state and federal environmental officials to try to find out if their water is safe to drink. Night Beat reporter Joe Ducey was at tonight's meeting, and he's in our newsroom now. Joe, what happened?
Well, Nolan, Foster Township residents know their well water has higher than normal levels of lead, a known health hazard. The Department of Environmental Resources says so. But while the department says most of the levels aren't above safety standards, they are not saying that overall the water is safe to drink, and that leaves residents in limbo. Residents say the lead problem stemmed from the C&D recycling plant, and you can see from Skycam 16. It's closed now, but while open, workers here recycled lead-wrapped cables. DER officials found lead contamination in the ground, but never actually linked the site to lead in well water. At this meeting, DER officials told the people that this is now a federal project awaiting Superfund money for cleanup that didn't sit well with residents.
Forget the C&D site. That's a long-term, long-range problem. The imminent problem, the immediate problem is the water. And I don't understand what DER is saying when they can't address the water problem.
Some residents have been trying to find out if their water is safe to drink for more than a year, and still they say they've gotten no direct answer.
I am tired of living in fear. If you had to live that way, not knowing what was in that water, how would you like it? You wouldn't.
With that, Salima left the meeting that had basically been called because of her persistence. She says she, again, wasn't getting the answers she needed. DER officials say, as they have said, that about 7% of the wells tested had levels of lead higher than safety standard levels. But they wouldn't say if that means the water is generally unsafe to drink. They say it's now up to the federal government to decide what to do. EPA officials tonight say Superfund monies are tied up in governmental bickering over just how much money should be allocated for the cleanup. The C&D site is on the list when monies become available for the long process of studying the land, then cleanup begins. Meanwhile, many residents say they'll be drinking bottled water.
Environmental officials here in Pennsylvania say it may take weeks to clear up a problem with Giardia cysts in a Schuylkill County water supply. We told you on Friday that more than 4,700 people in the Shenandoah area were advised to boil their drinking water because Giardia cysts were found in this reservoir near Shenandoah. Today, 339 of those customers were taken off the boil advisory after officials checked over the water system. The areas now off the boil advisory are Raven Run, Connerton, Lost Creek, the Store Patch section of Lost Creek 2, East and West William Penn. Officials say the other sections of Shenandoah area still on the advisory could be boiling their drinking water for weeks. There are reports tonight that government pathologists have started to examine some of the remains of the Challenger crew. Over the weekend, searchers found the shuttle's crew compartment on the ocean floor. The compartment is in pieces about 18 miles northeast of Cape Canaveral. Some of the debris and some remains of the crew have been recovered, but researchers still have a lot of work to do, and high seas are making it difficult for the recovery crews to bring up what's left of the shuttle's crew compartment. Coming up, trying to decide if the teachers are fit to teach. Plus, a little later, oh say, can you see the seagulls by the Susquehanna? We'll try to sort the strange scene as Newswatch 16 Update continues.
The black Cadillac, please. Right away, sir.
Excuse me. I believe that's my Buick.
Today, it's not easy to distinguish yourself from the crowd.
The Lincoln Town Car, please. Yes, sir.
But Lincoln builds luxury cars that stand apart. So whether you choose the Town Car, the Continental, or the Mark 7, you'll know there's nothing like a Lincoln. Lincoln, what a luxury car should be.
Terminix, can you get rid of those little black bugs? They sort of look like, those.
Ooh, how about those? Oh, you know, they eat anything. They, like that. Ooh.
I hate those.
No matter what's bugging you, call Terminix. We can handle the toughest problems
and keep it from coming back.
Excuse me, did you get the,
So, no more bugs, no more worries.
About 10,000 teachers in Texas are expected to fail a competency test they took today. Teachers and administrators in schools all across Texas were forced to take that test today. Many of the teachers say the test is not fair, but officials say it's all part of a campaign to improve the quality of education in Texas. Tonight on Nightline, right after our newscast, you'll get your chance to take the same type of test the Texas teachers took today. Among Ted Koppel's guests, the governor of Texas and some teachers who took today's competency tests. Students and parents concerned about their high school's future turned out tonight in Scranton at the school board meeting, both Scranton Central and Scranton Tech. People are against a much-talked-about merger of the two schools. The school board president, Mary Ann Sinclair, told the crowd there's no such resolution before the board tonight, no decision has been made, and a future public meeting will be scheduled with parents and students notified of that meeting. Some Luzerne County people are trying to raise $40,000 to help with a medical expense or medical expenses of a young cancer victim from the Sugarloaf area. 11-year-old Mike Farrar is in satisfactory condition tonight after his operation in New York to replace a cancerous leg bone with a metal titanium bone. Tonight, people in the greater Drums and Cunningham area met to plan a drive that will include bowl-a-thons, radiothons, and bake sales. The Mike Farrar Fund is off to a good start. Over $4,000 came in tonight. The official drive starts March 17th, and it'll continue until April 29th in Luzerne County. And next, meteorologist Tom Clark tells us whether those mild temperatures will sort of hang around for a while. Please, Tom.
Weren't they nice?
Nice.
I'd like the rest of the month to be like today was. But when we come back, I'm going to be showing you some of the destruction caused by the weather today. But now let me say that you are watching Newswatch 16 Update on WNEP, and we're proud to serve Nicholson and all of Wyoming County.
There are a lot of tough decisions in life.
McDLT!
But wouldn't it be nice to make a decision where you always come out a winner? Myra, will you be my wife?
I got a Big Mac!
Play McDonald's Delicious Decisions. Just pick up a card at McDonald's and choose between the new McDLT, a quarter pounder with cheese, or Big Mac. And the following week, when you come in and buy that sandwich, you'll get the same sandwich or medium Coca-Cola or regular fries free. Make a delicious decision.
Quarter pounder.
With cheese. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's. Whenever you need us, we'll be there.
When someone called us today to say they saw seagulls drinking along the Susquehanna in Pittston, well, you can imagine what at least some of us were thinking. But true to our tradition of going to where the news is, we drove to the Fort Jenkins Bridge in Pittston, and sure enough, those feathered friends are gulls. Meteorologist Tom Clark tells us a long period of southeasterly winds could have brought the gulls in from the Chesapeake and Delaware Bay areas, that they felt right at home with all our warm weather today. Welcome to the gulls, and welcome to the man with the answers. Okay,
well.
Tom, any gulls in your backyard tonight?
No, but there's lots of wind, Nolan. Still out of the south. This evening it has been gusting up to 40 miles per hour here in our backyard. And we had some thunderstorms to look at across the state in just a moment. But first, I'd like to show you the weather tonight across the western hemisphere. This satellite image just in, showing North America up there at the top. Some very heavy weather up in parts of our country today. And weatherly, my weather watcher there tonight has a temperature of 56 degrees. And I've got a report in from Lake Cary. H. Monroe House reports 50. And Christy Kaiser lives in Milton. She has 50. By the way, Joe and Kathy Kurtz checked in with that 56 in Weatherly. 57 out back now. Humidity 72%. The wind south at 20. Gusting to 30. And the barometer 29.58. Falling. 63 and 35 was the range here today. 41 is normal. However, 68. That record still stands for the date. And 55 and 29 was the range a year ago. And let's go right into our next image coming up. Look at the swirl of clouds, a massive storm system crossing the Great Lakes tonight and putting down some thunderstorms now over western Pennsylvania. Here is the latest radar image. Notice these storms charging up to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. I think some of the northern counties of our viewing area could hear a little thunder overnight tonight, but no severe weather expected here as this front moves on through, cooling things off a bit for tomorrow. And that's just my forecast for a Tuesday. Again, mild, but cooler than what we had today. No 60s tomorrow, but there will be some intervals of sun and maybe a few showers around in the morning. Temperatures, for the most part, in the mid to upper 50s, and that wind gusting in from the west up to 30 behind the cold front. 6:23 is the sunrise tomorrow, and 5 past 6 is the sunset these days. Overnight windy, maybe a thunderstorm. That rain tapering down, a few leftover showers tomorrow morning, mid-50s. Then, clouding up again on Wednesday. More rain is likely by late in the day, and it'll be in the 40s for the rest of the week. Very changeable weather this time of year, Nolan.
Yeah, and you better batten down the hatches out there.
It is very windy out here.
Come on in.
Okay.
Coming up, Joe Zone has some good news for Phillies fans, plus a look at tonight's basketball stuff. The Sports Watch next.
A&A Auto Parts stores ask you, does your car sway too much, especially around corners? Or does it sometimes bottom out on severe impact? You don't need a new car. You need new shock absorbers. Gabriel's Gas Rider shocks. Pressurized nitrogen gas improves resistance for more efficient damping and more responsive handling than you get from ordinary shocks. You also find Gabriel gas charged struts and cartridges available. Gabriel Gas Rider shocks for as low as $14.95 at any one of your local A&A Auto Parts stores.
Now, every U.S.-built Dodge car and truck includes a special thank you from your Dodge dealer. Because right now, you can get up to $1,000 cash back. Not on just a few models, but on every U.S.-built Dodge in stock. $1,000 cash back on Dodge Lancer ES. Up to $1,000 cash back on full-size pickups. $500 cash back on the dependable Dodge Omni. That's right, up to $1,000 cash back. Dodge makes buying easy with savings on every new U.S.-built car and truck. Thanks again, America, from your Dodge dealer.
Some of you may know him as a singer, others may know him as the actor who's co-starred with Barbra Streisand in A Star is Born. Well, singer-actor Chris Christopherson brought his talents to our area tonight. Christopherson performed at the station complex in Wilkes-Barre. It was standing room only. Many people had to be turned away and didn't get the chance to see Christopherson's Wilkes-Barre performance tonight. All right, good time down there. Yeah. And here right now, announcing tonight's card, is the card himself.
People who didn't see it, I can tell them personally that it was a wonderful concert.
All right, nice
you were there. It was very unusual tonight in Las Vegas, the setting for the fight. We'll go to the screen and talk about it. An outdoor fight for the big middleweight doubleheader. And interesting in that there was a little light rain tonight, also a breeze. It was about 45 degrees, and those are not actually ideal conditions for the big middleweight card. But I'll tell you what, the first one is all over, and Tommy Hearns didn't need the weather. He didn't need anything but a big right hand. Bang, first round, minute 13, gone. Goodbye, James Schuler. Nice knowing you. He's out of there. Hearns does it that fast. First round, minute 13, and so now he sits back, and he will see what happens in that Hagler fight. Hagler with Mugabe, the second one out there, ready to go underway. Hagler, you can count on will win that one. That will set up the big Hearns-Hagler rematch later on this fall. Okay, well, we'll go to basketball. NBA tonight, the Dallas team looking for the first time ever to beat the Boston Celtics. And we'll pick up the action this one inside for Dallas. That's Blackman. Watch Sam Perkins. Big standing room only crowd also at this place to see the Celtics. Perkins scores right there. And it's a close game, really. Now, watch Dennis Johnson inside, gets the rebound with the big guys around him for Boston, and scores. And then Parrish will also follow up for the Celtics. He's got a rebound. It's 46-44 as they stay close in this one. Larry Bird had an incredible game. 50 points he scored tonight, 5-0. 50 points. Watch Bird go to work right here. They led by 13 with 5 minutes to go, but back came Dallas. And despite the 50 points, they win it by a point tonight. It's all over. Okay, let's go to the scoreboard. One game, nice punch. Dallas over Boston, 116, 115. Bird had 50. Phoenix over Detroit, final score there, 120
to 109. And there's one game tonight in the NHL, and Hartford wins it. Final score there, 5-2. Just once, I'd like to hear it from the horse's mouth. We will have to take manager Selke's word for it. Steve Carlson pitched well today. Felt pretty good, too, when he was done. Carlson is coming back from a rotator cuff injury. He went 2 innings today, gave up a run, 4 hits, struck out 3. The thing with Carlson, as you know, he does not speak with the media. His arm could have fallen off today for all we knew. Phillies won it 2-1. Yankees were rained out. Tim Carlson is in Fort Lauderdale. His reports will start on Wednesday because of the rain out today, and we will listen to those reports from the Yankees and the Phillies coming up next week. Fishing game forecast for tomorrow.
A quick bluegill tip. Scatter oatmeal on top of the water. For any bluegill around, they're going to come scurrying after it.
That's not fair.
Really, oatmeal.
Of course, then you still have to catch it after you do
That's
that.
true.
Right. Okay.
Oatmeal's the
do
food.
that. I'll try that if I'm hungry for bluegill. Thank you, Joe. Still ahead, the true meaning of community spirit.
Planning a trip? Travel with a name you know you can trust. March. Whether by land, by sea, or by air, March Travel is ready to send you anywhere. Our friendly and professional staff is prepared to offer all the full services of a worldwide travel agency. Our computer access allows for the best pricing and guaranteed reservations.
Your flight reservations are confirmed. Thank you for calling March Travel.
If you're starting those plans for that long-awaited vacation, put March Travel on the top of your list, and we'll take care of the rest.
We were working yellow pages out of Bella, Pennsylvania, showing a rookie the ropes. There's your man, kid. What do we know about him?
Not much.
Poor guy. He didn't give him the facts in the Bella, Pennsylvania yellow pages.
But 98% of the public knows it on sight.
And?
They use it all the time.
Right.
So it's the only book he needs. I should have known.
Book. A genuine Bella, Pennsylvania yellow pages. We wrote the book.
Finally tonight, some Scranton police officers have reason to smile and feel pretty good. Commendations were given out today for police work above and beyond the call of duty. 4 officers, James Clee, Director of Public Safety, along with Sergeant Kenneth Morgan and Patrolman Joseph Pencheski and John Powell, helped catch an armed burglar 10 days ago, just hours after the crime. And Patrolman Jerry Moss last month talked a mental patient out of a locked room after the patient took some broken glass and then threatened suicide. The Scranton policemen were honored in ceremonies today at City Hall. And also today in City Hall, Lauser, the purebred German Shepherd police dog presented to the city by the Hill Neighborhood Association, has finished his police training. Today his handlers turned him over to Officer Richard Novembrino. The policeman's wife Charlene and mom Roseanne were there too, because Lauser will eventually live at home with the family as well as do police work with the officers. And that is Newswatch 16 update for a Monday. Next on Nightline, your chance to take the test like the Texas teachers took today. Good luck to you. And from the team, including Karen, who has this day off, good night.
When you see news in the making, Newswatch 16 wants to hear from you. Call 1-800-533-NEWS. Toll free from anywhere in Pennsylvania. Call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. 1-800-533-NEWS.